Hey everybody, this is Daniel with Bothersome Truth, and I'm just going to get right into it. I don't like Donald Trump. I don't like when he talks. I don't like seeing him on TV. He really frustrates me every time I see him, and every time I hear anybody mention his voice in the media. And he frustrates me because he's a con artist and he's an ignoramus, and people in the media just fawn all over him. They just love him and they refuse to dissect him. Well, up until recently, because they were like given permission by their bosses to do it. And now some of them are attempting to actually do journalism. But he says stupid stuff all the time, things that are not true, not even close to true. But occasionally he says something that is just so infuriating that you have to respond. And so he recently said that blacks should vote for him, that he could get 95% of our support in 4 years, that with the economy, with our unemployment rates, which he was questionable, if not completely false on the data. And when he talked about, what was the other thing Donald Trump said? He said also when it comes to education levels, all of these things, he said, what have you got to lose? You've been voting for Democrats and they haven't helped you. What do you have to lose voting for me? I'll tell you what we have to lose: our minds. Now, I'm not going to talk about all black people when it comes to voting for Donald Trump because we're not a monolith. We have different communities in different states and at different economic levels and backgrounds, so we're not just one group. That's a consistent issue. Even Donald Trump makes that mistake, but he makes mistakes every day. He doesn't know what he's doing, so who's surprised? Let's get into why we lose. I think I'd lose my mind with Donald Trump. So keep in mind, this is a man with a real estate background. How many times has he ever given a plan for how he's going to help blacks when it comes to getting homes? Now, this is important because black people, particularly, we have a lot of wealth tied in our homes, okay? Those homes are also collateral for small businesses. Well, under a Republican president and a Republican government, we had a Great Recession, which was started by Bill Clinton and the repeal of the Glass-Steagall Act. So with that, with this power being given to the financial industry where they could bet on our money, and then they created a bubble that then exploded, okay, with a housing crisis that even Donald Trump couldn't foresee. So with that, a lot of black people lost their homes, and with losing their homes, they lost collateral for their businesses. And not one time has the real estate mogul Donald Trump given a valid plan for how he's going to help address this. This is a man who talks about unemployment in the black community and gives statistics that are questionable, if not false. But this is also the same man who promises to bring jobs to the United States, but who in his own company sent jobs to China and Mexico. Go into a store, when you see a Donald Trump suit, it says made in Mexico. The same people he's trying to kick out with his immigration policy. This is what we're talking about. This is a level of ignorance that few have ever seen and really been able to get up close and touch. Okay, this is a man who said that he didn't want black people counting his money. This is a man who, when one of his white supporters cold-cocked a young kid, black kid in the face for being at a protest, the protester, the supporter, the Trump supporter said, "I'd kill him if I could." And Donald Trump then from the podium says, "I'll pay his legal fees." This is the same Donald Trump who retweets neo-Nazi tweets, who tweets false crime statistics and got called out for it, who saw somebody in the crowd and said, "That's my African American." And we are supposed to gladly vote for him? Now, as much as I don't like giving him any kind of credit, I'm a fair guy. When he talks about Democrats not doing a lot for blacks, points are there. We're not doing great under Obama, and we can't blame him for everything, but we can hold him responsible for what we need to hold him responsible for. That's something I don't think we do very well. So is there blame to pass around to the establishment of both parties? Absolutely. But are we really going to ignore the Republicans on this? The Republicans who for generations ran a racist political campaign called the Southern Strategy. Look it up. Where they admitted two of the former Republican Party leaders, the heads, admitted that they were running racist political campaigns for decades called the Southern Strategy in order to win racists into the party. They admitted it. They admitted it. This is the party who has appealed to racism. This is the party that has not cared about us. This is the party that tanked our government and brought the world down through its policies, through its presidency, through its government. And again, I've already talked about Clinton, so y'all need to calm down. Don't come at me when I've already mentioned Glass-Steagall and Clinton. This is the party that's talking. This is the party that has the nerve. Donald Trump appeals to white nationalists. And he's going to tell me I should vote for him? He has 1% of black support. And he says he's going to get 95% at the end of 4 years? See, this is a person who's all mouth and no mind. This is a person who makes their living talking and convincing people of things that aren't true. The old folks would say silver tongue. Now we just call him a liar. And sadly, there's a lot of people who don't see the lies. They don't pay attention to the fact this man is lying with every single breath in his body. Every minute he lies. He rarely tells the truth. He's on the same plane as a broken clock. But he's going to tell us and tell me that we should vote for him? That's just nuts. And again, I don't like him. I'm definitely not voting for him. I don't agree with him. I don't think he could find his way out of a paper bag if it was labeled politics. That man doesn't know what he's doing. But am I going to sit here and be quiet when he has the audacity to get up and say that? It just screamed white savior. I can save them. I can fix it. Never mind that his party is guilty for so much when it comes to us. I had to say something. I had to get this off my chest because, the doctor says it's not good when you keep this kind of stuff inside. So if you have a different thought or opinion, feel free to leave it in the comments. Okay? Because let's have a conversation. But I stand by what I said. Everything I said.